Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to another session of Meditations with Marigny. So, I was sitting here working on a couple of assignments and I was thinking about discipline. I was thinking about the structure of relationships. I was thinking about what parameters that we put in place in our personal lives that then carry over or don't carry over into our relationships. Um, and I'm thinking about it because I'm sitting here, I'm doing some assignments, and I came into my office and I came in because when I'm in the office, I feel like I just have less distractions. There's no one here to agitate me. I can set my phone to the side. That's already a distraction. I can set the phone to the side and I can really horn in for, 5 or 6 hours into my assignments. And I feel like if I was home, it might take me 9 or 10 hours to do what when I come here, I can accomplish in 4 to 5 hours. And so it's a big sacrifice because that means that it's an inconvenience for me to get up, get dressed, come into the office, drive down, go through traffic or whatever I have to get through. And I will often do that by going either coming to my job or I go to the library. And I do that also because I have the desk space to kind of spread out. So I might have one stack of work going on there, another stack right here, and I kind of got a system in place. But when we think about our relationships, it makes me, everything that I do, I try to tie it back to family, structure, discipline, um, expectations, because the discipline that I'm putting in place now is the same discipline that I'm going to be desiring. And as you get older, you think about things a little bit differently. Things that did not mean anything to me 25 years ago, they mean a lot to me now. And I do not anticipate and or expect to have the same conversations like over and over with someone that I would have had 25 years ago. 25 years ago, I would have been like, oh, I'm going to just keep saying it and they're going to eventually get it. At this stage right now, it is just so much more valuable to look at someone for who they are, how they operate, whether or not they are a good fit for you, and determine whether or not you're a good fit for them. And if you see that it's a workable relationship and there are just some discipline structures that need to be altered, that's one thing. But what I have learned and found, and even in talking to someone most recently, is that, and this is someone who is dealing with a second marriage, they did not talk about some of the hard things, and they did not talk about some of the expectations of structure in their relationship that they should have talked about. And sometimes it's not so much that someone doesn't love someone, but at this age and in this process of marriage, where some people are dealing with their second and some even their third and some even their fourth marriages, um, it just means that they did not take the time to really find out whether or not they were on the same page with that person. And I don't think that that takes a long time either. I think that as we mature and we get older, you can get a good feel for somebody and what their structure is like. And you can tell whether or not they're going to be somebody that's going to be compatible with you. There have been relationships that I have walked away from since my divorce that I knew no matter what that person brought to the table. In some cases, he already had his own house, had portfolios put together, could have taken me off my job and made me the perfect little housewife. But I knew that that was not going to work. And initially, it may have sounded good to me because sometimes, you do get tired of working. Sometimes I do just want to just live out my soft life. I would love to just be a housewife and, take care of the things of the home and care for my mate and care for my kids and support him in those areas. But I want it the right way. And if it can't be the right way, I don't want it at all because that's going to be a struggle, not just for me, but it's going to be a struggle for him. If it's not something that we are both structurally disciplined within that relationship, it is going to be a problem. And oftentimes we can see those things, but we overlook it. Um, I was sharing with someone because there are some transitions going on with me right now. And I was sharing with someone that this is not easy. Like some of the decisions that I'm having to make, I would much rather have somebody that I could lean on and I could say, what do you think? Like, am I making the right decision? We all feel like we're making the right decisions when we make them. But if you had somebody else that you could bounce that off of that had wisdom that was beyond yours, it might be a little bit different. Or you might even choose to make a different decision. Now, I will say that I am truly in a trust God season right now. And in that trust God season, there are things happening in my life that don't look like man would be able to make that decision. But the good thing is that I trust God and I know that the decisions that are being made after I've prayed about them and I release them and I let God do what he does with it. The doors that are opening and transition that is coming forth is good. Now, is it easy? No, it's not. Like I'm I'm like Peter. I'm about to step out the boat and walk on the water. And that's just such a scary place to be. But it's also such a comforting place because I have the discipline to trust God. And in me having that discipline in my personal life, I know that he's going to then allow me to carry that over into my relationship. And so I just wanted to come on right quick, not nothing long, but just give you guys some food for thought. Like, what areas of your life do you think that you might need to tighten up your discipline with? Like, is it with your finances? Is it with your trust? Is it with your ability to keep your word? Is it with your communication with your children? Is it with your communication with your mate? Is it possibly with communication with your parents or your friends? Are there areas that you know that you don't have the structure in place that you could have? And if you were to work on that area, it would make you a better person, not just for your person, but for yourself. What areas can you look at and you say that I'm really stretching myself right here? Like, I'm uncomfortable doing this. I don't want to do this, but I'm willing to do it because I know it's for the benefit of our good. I'm willing to do this because I know that in the long run, this is what's best for my family. I'm willing to do this because in the long run, I know that this is going to stretch me to a place that when my mate does come, I will then know how to have the discipline to assure that I can care for them. So this really was just one of those thoughtful moments. Um, and really I was listening to, like I said, another um, blogger or YouTuber, and she has a pretty large following. And just some of the things that I'm hearing, I am like, man, the younger generation, they are in trouble. These young ladies are being guided by some women that the structural foundation of the family is definitely going in a different direction. And I'm not saying that we should all be following one direction. What I am saying is that the way that men and women are pinning one another against each other, it just makes me think that, like, eventually, what, y'all not gonna need one another? Like, the discipline to be able to walk comfortably in who you are as a woman, without being called all types of names for what type of woman that you would be for honoring a man is interesting. I want to come back and do something about that. There's this whole movement that's going on. And when I read about it and I read what it was talking about, I was like, what? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this little tidbit. Take a moment and think about what areas that you might could improve on in your life. And then jump in the comments. Tell me a little bit about it. Tell me what areas that you might want to chat about, especially on our Thursday nights that are coming up in the next couple of weeks. So if you don't do anything else, I thank you for joining me for another moment with Meditations with Marigny. And I'd love for you to click like. I'd love for you to click share. And I would love for you to subscribe. Have a good day. Bye. Uh-oh.